All right, this is my ultimate Spawn collection. I'm very sorry for the rudimentary aspect of this video. I'm not very good at editing. I'm going to start off with the Spawn Bible. It's a barcode or UPC edition. And a lot of the comics I have Spawn, typically within the first 50 issues, I like sticking like some of the cards in there. Some of the cards may range from a couple of bucks. Some of them are virtually worth nothing, but I just think it's kind of cool just to put the cards in there. So I've got one copy, two copies, wizard card, three copies, and a UPC version of Spawn 1, a little bit more rare. I've got I think this is the Mexican foil edition, limited to 1,000. It's pretty cool. It's in Spanish, but the covers are cool. Got the Spawn 3D with the glasses. The Spawn Director's Cut, I think this is the second print. I have the Spawn 1 Japanese. And this is the Spawn. This is also a Mexican foil edition of #1 from the black and white. Wish I had the real black and white one, but don't. This is box 2, Spawn 2. Probably should take a bunch of these out just to make it easier. Got Spawn 2, I got the UPC version, 3, 4. You can say there's cards in the back of most of these early issues. 5, the barcode. A couple issues of 6, First Overkill. You can say this is an example of some of just the cheap cards that are in there. You know, just regular O cards. 7, 8. First Angela. I've got 2 copies of that one. Issue 10. This is the issue 10 remastered edition that they did around the same time of issue 300. Cerebrus was the longest running comic at the time, so the Spawn broke that for independent comics anyway, so this is one version of it. It's 297 out of 350. All of these, I believe, were signed comics. There's the hockey card. 11, 12, 13. Let's see what we got here. Um, 14. Most of these early issues. This is issue 16. This is Greg Capullo's first work on Spawn, and it's signed by him. I've got quite a few signed comics. All of the signed comics I have COAs. And there's 17, newsstand. 18, 19. 19 also signed by Greg Capullo. And there's not much to say about a lot of these earlier issues. Some duplicates of some from the first 50. Some barcode editions. This one was always a cool cover. I got the little chromium card to go with it. Let's see. Really, a lot of these covers we could just flip through. First Freak newsstand. I say not a lot with these first issues. Just kind of flip through them. Do have some newsstand versions. First Jessica Priest. I like Jessica Priest, so I got 2 copies. One was near mint, and I accidentally dropped one and dinged it on the corner, so I had to get another one. And then I've also got the newsstand version of the first Jessica Capri, so 3 copies of it. And let's see here. Now this is one that signed. This is the only one I have that doesn't have a COA, and that's the one that Al Simmons used to always sign these back in the day when he would go to the cons and stuff before he had some kind of falling out with Todd McFarlane. Let's see here. A newsstand. Wings of Redemption. Another newsstand. Like I say, I have a few newsstands. And then we get to, let's say, this is all 1 through 100 are probably what most all Spawn collectors seem to have. And then there's Spawn 100. Got the regular. I've got the newsstand of 100. The Mike Mignola. The Frank Miller. I think that's Ashley Wood. One. Hold on, bear with me. Reposition these. And then issue, let's see, there's 119, which is first cameo of Gunslinger. I have the regular one, and I do have the newsstand of it. In pretty decent shape for the newsstand. And 122 is first Nick's. I got a couple copies of that. Let's see here. The newsstands ran all the way to issue 137, which was the last one they did the newsstand. I have the regular and I have the newsstand. So that's the last newsstand issue is 137. And 141, first She Spawn cover. That was Nick's She Spawn. And issue 150, I've got the Todd McFarlane. I've got the McFarlane sketch, the Jim Lee. There's a couple I'm missing for the 150s. And let's see here. No, right around this area, I do believe. First Ninja Spawn. Put it back up in a second. Oh, here it is. I have another autograph by Greg Capullo. Issue, what is this? 163. First Mandarin Spawn. Spawn 166. This is the second print. I think this was limited to 3,000 copies. A little bit more rare. And first full appearance of Gunslinger Spawn. Second full appearance of Gunslinger Spawn. War Spawn right there. And 185, this is where Jim Downing becomes the new Spawn. I got the one headless version, not the super expensive one. I've got the Wilt Patachio cover, and I've got the second print, so 3 copies of 185, 3 different versions. Go on, 193, I've got the regular, and I've got the sketch on that. And issue 200, I have the cover A. This is the Rob Liefeld. The 1 in 10 Greg Capullo. Ashley Wood. Mark Silvestri. And 201. New artist. These are where your low print runs were really kind of going at. These are the Mexican versions of some of these comics right here. I got them just because I like the cover art on them. Let's see here. $219. Okay, 220. These are the homage covers. 220, the regular, the special black and white one, Savage Dragon, the Youngblood, all three of 220, 221. Most people know what all these are. This is the Mexican version of 222. Another one I like the cover on, so I got it. 223, Walking Dead. The Obama wins. The Hawk 340. Of course, everybody knows the 300. Okay. That's another foreign variant, just because I like the cover. These also on this foreign variant's got a pretty cool cover on the back too, of something different that's cool. So I kind of like that. And these are low print runs right here. And let's see here. We continue with, I believe this one right here is a very low print run. This one is the lowest print run for a regular cover A. And let's see. I'll get to issue 250. Cover A. Who is this cover artist? I forget his name, but I always kind of liked it. And of course, the 250. This is the Scotty Young one. And we got the 250 sitting on the crown. We got the, I think this is the 1 in 25 version of that one. And Spawn Resurrection, where he comes back. Al Simmons comes back. A lot of these. And a sketch variant of one. This is the 265 1 in 500 Scorpion blank variant, a little rare. There's the the sketch variant of it. This is the Savage Dragon issues. These stories connect right here. This Savage Dragon goes with the storyline when they're teamed up. This one, Savage Dragon, actually goes for a little bit of money. It's a little bit more harder to find. And then it concludes with this one. This one doesn't go as much, so I've got the entire crossover with those. I thought was kind of cool to have. Or Soul Crusher. Sketch. Around this time period, you're starting to get into a lot of different variant covers they start to do. Cover C. They would do regulars, they would do black and whites. It's the Walking Dead, the regular and the sketch. There's a lot of different variants that start to happen right at this point, where you got also like the Virgin variants. I kind of just got whatever I could find. These are the color appreciation. There are 8 different covers for this. Each one is just a different color artist. And I have all 8 of them. It was kind of a little fun thing to collect. Sometimes you'll see them sold as sets on eBay. Let's see here. So I've got some blank variants, some sketch variants, black and whites. Pretty much just whatever I came across, I guess at the time that I kind of liked, I just picked up. Sometimes I like the virgin cover, sometimes I like them with the logo, sometimes I like the sketch. That's the sketch version, the 300, and that's the third printing of it. And then another one, 301. He liked to copy himself a lot. I think that's a 1 in 25, and J. Scott Campbell. First She-Spawn with Jessica Priest. Let's see. This Gunslinger variant for 306 is a pretty popular one. Sometimes you can go for a little bit more as far as the variants are concerned. Let's see here. Now I've got some more autograph comics around this area. 316. 316 is actually the first appearance of the Scorched team. And I do have 316, the sketch, which they kind of consider these 1-5. I have this one signed by Greg Capullo. And I've also got 316, this one signed by Bjorn Behrens, the cover artist. He did some pretty wicked cover art for Spawn around this time period. I have a few issues, and I might be skipping over some of the autograph comics I have, going through them so quickly. Another one autographed by Bjorn Behrens. I think I have 2 or 3. Like I say, I might have skipped one or so. Sometimes I forget exactly what I have. This is all the way up to almost a 350. And this is probably, I think this is my random. This might be a random box. I got Spawn Batman. This is the cover A, cover B. I got this one. This is the one where you can fold the cover and I forget what they're called. The She-Spawn 1 in 50. Kind of cool. Curse of the Spawn. Got cover A. Got the newsstand. Got the black and white. I think that's a 1 in 10. I've got the entire Curse of the Spawn run. I've got a lot of duplicates, or a lot of doubles on Curse of the Spawn. That's Origin of Jessica Priest. Say a lot of the Curse of the Spawns I have. Probably half of this run I have about 2 issues of each. Because I was already almost working on the run and then came across the whole run that somebody gave me. Well, traded, actually. Issue 1. That's Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, and that's the 1 in 50. A cool cover. Not much to these Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. Where's that? Right here, I believe, in issue 10. This is the one I've got 2 variants. Wait. Yeah, I believe it's issue 10. These 2 here were recalled because there was no voice bubbles. Well, the voice bubbles were there, but there was no dialogue in the voice bubbles. So I've got 1 of 10 cover A without the voice bubbles. And then I've got cover B, which is also the Air version, where the voice bubbles are there, but just no dialogue in them. You'd have to open them up to see it, and I should have opened them just to be able to show you, but it's pretty cool. Spawn the Dark Ages. I got the entire run of that. Some of the later issues. And then we pick up back to Spawn 340 where it left off at the other box. And let's see. In issue 350, I have all the variants for 350 minus like any crazy expensive ones. And 351, I got the Brett Booth Virgin. I got 2 of those. Everybody kind of likes that cover. And let's see, I got Mark Spears. Mark Spears on that one. Not much to really be said on some of these. Another Mark Spears. This is a Comic-Con variant, I believe. It's a pretty cool looking cover. And I got the blank and the, I keep saying blank, I got the sketch and the colored. The Invincible cover. Everybody seems to like that one all of a sudden. And I Hate Fairyland. 375. This is just where they started a new writer, new story. This one is actually signed by Matt Rosenberg, the new writer and stuff. So it's kind of cool. I think. Oh yeah, I had. This was also a convention. Black and white exclusive. Let's see. And then over here is another box of random spawns. I got spawn related material. Haunt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought the first 6 issues were pretty cool. Bloodletter, kind of a Spawn character. Angela, I thought they looked cool. Spawn Wildcats has got a new stand, regular, and also a new stand. Violator versus Badrock. This is actually a pretty decent story. So most of these are just random sets. And this is the Godslayer one shot, but I also have the entire Godslayer run, which I actually liked it, and then it just ended. Misery, Blood Feud, where this is where Spawn's uniform is called the K7 Letha. Image United 1, that's the blank variant. 1, the second printing. 2, the Greg Capullo. 3, the Del Keown. They were supposed to do 6 issues of that, they only did 3. King Spawn, just a 1 in 50. This one is autographed by David Finch. And I just picked up some random ones. I just got the Mark Spears covers for some of these King Spawns because I liked them. The King Spawn, Scotty Young, the connecting covers. And Mark Spears, King Spawn 50. King Spawn 55, also autographed by Matt Rosenberg. Gunslinger Spawn 1 in 50. Just a couple of random first appearances. And like I say, I got all the Mark Spears ones I could get. This is a sketch done by, I forget the artist's name, but it's got a COA. It's a blank sketch. Let's see here. What's this one? And the other Scotty Young. These are the Scorched King Spawn and these out. This one is signed by Todd McFarlane and Jonathan Galapian, the artist, the cover artist. These are connected covers of San Diego Comic Cons. All three are signed, so they're pretty cool. I love connecting covers. Let's see, where were we? Rat City. Got all of it. Pretty much. Black Ritual. Rat City ends at issue 25 with the mix. Medieval Spawn, just a black and white version. I guess I got one, two. I guess I got that whole run. About. Spawn Universe, 1 in 50 variant. Spawn Universe, J. Scott Campbell cover, signed by J. Scott Campbell. Scorched McFarlane cover, Scorched 1 in 50. And then I got the Scorched ones that connect, like the X-Men one. Scorched 25, signed by Todd McFarlane. And I think this is just some sort of art book that had Spawn on the cover. Kind of goes for 40. I forget what these are. These were just some sort of She Spawn comics that kind of look cool. They like nude variants and different versions of them. Just kind of like it. Spawn kills everyone. Curse of Shirley Johnson or Jackson, whatever. Shirley Johnson. The Sam and Twitch, that's the Mark Spears cover, and Architects of Fear. This is just a lot of trade paperbacks. I've got King Spawn trade paperbacks 1 through 6. I didn't really want to collect all of the individual comics, so I thought I would do the trade paperbacks. So out of King Spawn, Scorched, and Gunslinger, I have volumes 1 through 6. Hell on Earth. What else do I got? Dark Horror. This is a Haunt, I think that's hardback 1 through 12. This is the Book 2 Collector's Edition. This is Book 14 hardcover Collector's Edition. This has the first Gunslinger Spawn in it, so I thought it was pretty cool. And Batman Spawn is still sealed. And then some slabs I have. I've got Spawn 1, 9.8. I've got Spawn 100, the Capullo, 9.4. And Spawn 1, the Alex Ross, 9.6. So I have every version of Spawn 100. Spawn 200, this is the 1 in 25 Jim Lee sketch. And Spawn Resurrection. Spawn 1 in 25 sketch version of the Dark Knight cover. These 1 in 25 sketch versions of the homage covers are pretty expensive. There's the Romney version, so I have every regular version of the Spawn homage covers and all the variants minus the sketches. Sketch cover for $2.59. Sketch cover for $2.64. Spawn 300. This is the 4th printing. And what is this? No, this is just Gunslinger Spawn 1 in 50 Mark Spears. And then I have the entire set of the Spawn movie cards. I have a few Spawn cards that are slabbed that I got just to have. Some are just the cover cards. I just kind of liked having the cards. I got a Spawn collector's pin from Comic Con. I got 5 unopened packs of Spawn cards. I like keeping them unopened because I'm thinking, if they're like that, it's kind of like Schrodinger's cat. There could be a sketch card or any kind of cool card in there. Just kind of like keeping it a mystery. But that is my Spawn collection. 5 boxes. I'm probably sure I missed something. There's probably a few autographed comics that I skipped over. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video.